Hi, this is James Fraley with Fraley Woodworks, and we're going to shoot a video now showing the assembly process of the Roosevelt platform bed. First thing to do is to set up the headboard and lean it against the wall where you intend to have the bed be up against. Next, find the three rails shown here. That's the headboard rail, labeled HB right there in the middle, the right side rail, and the left side rail. Now these left and rights are backwards because we have the bed, we have these rails upside down. And so the finished side is down. Now we have these on some foam blocks to protect them. So I just want you to, when you set these rails up, just be careful that they're not going to get scratched on the other side. So lay them out flat like this, upside down, and protect the finished side. If you come towards corner A and find the hardware bag that's labeled number 1, and it should say the word frame on it right above it. And the contents of this bag include 4 dominoes. That's the wooden pieces there. 2 of them will go on this side, and 1 of those connector bolts. And then the remaining 2 dominoes and connector bolt will go over there to corner B. So we're going to go show you how to assemble corner A here. So the first thing to do is to get these dominoes and put them on the end of the headboard. They're going to just be loose fitting, and those are there to help provide some strength but alignment between these boards. So if you want to do that and put the corner together, try to put it together in a square way so that you're not applying a lot of force to it. And then once you do that, if you look down this hole, you should see the connector bolt. I can see that little brass colored connector bolt down there, or insert, and then use this connector bolt to go down in there, find the threads, and then don't tighten it all the way, just tighten it to where it's snug. We'll come back later once we get all 4 corners pinned, and we'll snug these all up really tight. So that's corner A, and then we're going to come over here to corner B and do the same operation. Get the 2 dominoes out, put them into the headboard, the end of the headboard, like so. Then position the corner here. Again, when you're moving this on the floor and stuff, make sure you got it well protected on the other side, because you don't want to scratch or scuff the finished side. All right, B is put together. We're going to go ahead and put the connector bolt in there. Again, just snug it up. Be careful not to cross thread your threads or anything. Just find the way it screws in nicely. And that should be all of the contents of this first. Okay, at this point we have the headboard attached to the right side rail and the left side rail. The connector bolts are loosely installed along with their dominoes. The next thing to do is to find the footboard rail, which is going to connect corners C and D. The footboard is labeled FB on the underside, so just like with the headboard, it's going to go right in here with FB kind of facing the middle of the bed. You should now see corners C lining up and corner D lining up. All right, now find the hardware bag labeled number 2. It should say footboard. Inside, there's the 4 dominoes. 2 goes on the left side, 2 goes on the right side. And this time there's 4 connector bolts. I'll talk about those in a little bit. But the first thing we're going to do is put all 4 dominoes in the footboard. So 2 go on corner C, and 2 go in here on corner D. All right. Coming back here to corner C. Again, move the footboard so it engages the left and right side rails. He's getting corner C kind of lined up. And those dominoes should go into the mortises on both sides and kind of snug it up. So once they're in, you'll see that seam is closed up, and this line, it'll eventually come all the way together. All right, we're going to move over here to side D and just do the same thing since we have those dominoes in there. All right, very good. It's roughly in place now. So now we're going to use these connector bolts. You'll notice there's two longer ones and two shorter ones. We're going to use one short and one long on each side. The short one goes down straight through the rail into the footboard. Thread that in there. And then you take the longer of the bolts, connector bolts, and it goes through this hole here, through the leg, into the footboard. And that's going to pinch the boards together this way. All right, so the shorter connector bolt goes here next to the letter. The longer connector bolt goes through the leg into the footboard. And just like we did on the headboard, we're just going to snug these up. So let's go ahead and get this put together over here too. Shorter one next to the D. And the longer one coming in through the leg into the footboard. Very good. All right, now that all four corners are secured, we're going to go right back to corner A, and we're going to snug these up now. We're going to make them tighter. Okay. B. Yep. This will square up the bed and pull all four boards together nicely. C and the last corner D. And so we've completed the first two hardware bags, 1 and 2. With this, once this is tight and all four corners are tightened down, what we're going to do next is rotate the bed so it's right side up. This is a 2-person job. Okay? So, Fabian, if you'll go on that end. Okay, I guess over here. So we'll have one person standing at the footboard, one person standing at the headboard. Carefully rotate the bed. (180 degrees) and put the feet down and carefully put the head down. Very good. So it should end up looking like that. All right, and then the next step will be to attach the headboard to this assembly. Okay, we're picking up again with the headboard up against the wall that you're going to place the bed up next to, and the joined together 4 rails of the main part of the bed. And now what we're going to do is aim this part of the side rail into this notched area here on the headboard on both sides. So this is a 2-person job, so the guys are on each side of this. They're going to bring it on up. Slide it in. Very good. Once you've got that resting on here, then you can you might have to have the feet a little bit elevated when you're putting it in there, depending upon what angle the headboard's at. But once you get it in there, then you can set it down. Now, okay, now we're ready to connect the headboard to the rail assembly. Find the hardware bag labeled number 3 headboard. And inside it are only connector bolts. There's 2 longer ones and 2 smaller ones, so a pair, a long and a short, go on each side. And so let's start over here on this side. And coming from the back, the longer of the 2 comes from the back of the bed towards the rail. Try to hand thread these. Make sure you're engaged with the threads. Good. And we'll take the same strategy that we did before. We're just going to snug it up, not going to tighten it down yet. And then the smaller of the 2 connector bolts goes into the leg down here towards the center of the headboard. And that's going to pull it in that direction. Again, thread that by hand and then snug it up with the Allen wrench. Okay, now we'll go over to the other side and do the same thing. The longer of the 2 will come in from the back side. All right, I'll stop videoing here. Just make note that after all 4 of these bolts are snugged up, we're going to come back and tighten them down so that all 4 are tight. So once he gets these 2, actually, he'll just go ahead and tighten these 2, then go over to the first 2 and tighten them up. There we go. All right, at this point, you have the headboard attached to the rails, and now we're going to put in this center rail that connects right down through the middle. So find the part labeled MR for middle rail. It's upside down right now, and what we're going to do first is install these feet to it. Before we do that, though, I want to draw attention to these adjustments here. So this little thing can screw out or screw in so that you can adjust the height of these legs to be able to be effective and contact the floor. So once you get it in place, you might come through and lower those or raise those to make them fit. All right, find the hardware bag labeled number 4 metal stretcher. Inside are 4 connector bolts, again, a big and a small. So the 2 big ones are going to be used for the feet. Okay. So the way this works, coming through from the top, really, of the middle rail into the foot.
I need a wrench.
Okay. I don't see any problem just going ahead and snugging these up, tightening these up all the way right now. Okay, very good. There's 2 of these. Okay, we've attached the 2 legs to the middle rail, and one thing I should note is on this middle rail, it's labeled HB for the headboard and FB for the footboard. So that guides you in terms of how you want to install it. So we'll go ahead and pick this up now and position it right in the middle. It should just rest the headboard end there and the footboard end here. Now taking those two remaining screws, they're the smaller of the two connector bolts. One goes on each end. So we'll go ahead and put this one in. You should be able to look down and see that you're lined up with the threaded insert below. Try to hand tighten it and get it started, and then use the Allen wrench to finish it up and snug it up. You can go ahead and fully tighten that down. Okay, we now have the middle rail attached, and we're now going to install the integrated nightstands. So there's two of these. The way you know which one goes on which side, the open side faces the bed, and the closed side is going to be facing outside. We have the drawer right here, and it's taped shut, so it shouldn't move while we're installing it. So let's grab this left one. We know that goes on the left side. And there's two hardware bags for the nightstands, number 5 and number 6. So we're just going to go ahead and take number 5. That's for all of the connectors for one of the nightstands. All right. So to put this on, you need to put this lower ridge underneath. It will be coming up against that. This notch is going to fit right in here. And same with that right there. All right. So there it goes. There it goes. It's a friction fit, but it should fit nice. Once you have it pushed in there, it should be locked, but I would keep a hold on that. You don't want it to fall down. Open up your hardware bag. There's 3 long ones, 2 shorter ones, and 3 middle-sized ones. So we're going to take the long one first, come in from the back side of the bed. Finger tighten that. Another one goes over here. So 2 of the long connector bolts are coming in from the back side.
This one will be the bottom.
And the third one is down there in that corner. So all 3 of those longer connector bolts come from the back side of the bed forward. And once you have those started, there's no way that the headboard's going to fall. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and tighten those. You can tighten them all the way. All right. Good. Now we're taking the 3 middle size connector bolts.
You can do this from the front.
Okay, it's going in from the underside here towards the headboard. Okay. One there, and I suppose one is going to go right down there. Back out so you can see where this is. So there's 2 spots over here. And again, these are the medium size connector bolts.
You can secure these all the way too.
Very good. And the last 2, the small ones, get installed from the bottom side coming up. And that will have the effect of bringing these into the same plane. Okay? Okay, snug those all up. With those tight, we should have a nice, consistent plane with the bottom shelf of that nightstand. The process for the other nightstand is exactly the same. So you would take that right nightstand and grab the next hardware bag and install it over there. We'll sign off. Okay, we have both nightstands attached to the headboard, and now the last thing to do is to install the slats. So these are maple slats. They're all interchangeable. They should just go into each of the positions. Okay. Okay, very good. And there you have complete the installation of the Roosevelt platform bed. Beautiful.